The following program is rated MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
The show that gives you everything and nothing at all. That's everywhere you don't want to be. It's Ruben, Mo B, and on the ones and twos, AG.
The 5-minute warning.
Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of 5-Minute Warning. Once again, it's your man, Ruben, up in the house. And hey, happy Father's Day out there to all you fathers and all you, how do I want to say it? All you father figures. You know, happy Father's Day out to you. Hopefully you did a whole bunch of nothing today, and that will be awesome. Also, shout out to my own father. Happy Father's Day. Talked to you yesterday. Glad you're doing well. Hope you did a whole bunch of nothing too. You're retired and stuff, so I'm pretty sure. You told me you're going to do a whole bunch of nothing today, so I'm pretty sure that you did that. Also, shout out to the Birmingham Stallions of the UFL. They won the UFL championship today, 25-0. And I was advised that that's their third championship. So they won the two USFL championships, and now they won the UFL championship. And they be having different people every year and 4 different quarterbacks. I mean, wow. Shout out to Skip Holtz, the coach. So shout out to that guy. That guy found a way to do it. What's going on, AG?
Wow.
What part?
Look, I decided I wanted to not stink anymore, like at 8:38. So I took a shower. I said, I got time. And then I thought I had time. Well, no, actually I was good until I forgot to do something in my little workflow. So I had to get my little stuff together. So now I'm doing okay.
Did you have to spray the Axe?
You know, I have never used that stuff before.
Bro, I'm sick of looking at that damn commercial, though.
I mean, apparently it's selling.
I mean, I'll say back in the day when it first came out, yeah, you know, all the people who decided that showers weren't necessary in life, they use that shit to cover their stink-ass shit. And it just stunk even more. You know, just because you put lipstick on a pig, that don't mean that shit gonna look good. It was bad then, it's bad now, and now they just got little flowery flavors and shit on it.
Well, I tell you what, to piggyback on what you said, I have never met a woman outside of the commercials that ever thought that stuff smelled good. Ever. But apparently it sells. I'm just saying, I mean if it's still around, somebody's buying it, man.
Well, yeah. Your 14, 15-year-old kids who don't believe in real deodorant and shit.
Wait a minute. It is real deodorant. It's in an aerosol can. It exists. So you can't say it's not real.
Okay.
But does it work? Does it work?
My bad. I mean, it works if you want to cover shit up. That's just like if your bathroom stink and you spray it down with something. Yeah, it's gonna smell a little bit, but it covers the shit until the shit goes away.
Well, in Axe's defense, no deodorant can cover the funk for long.
But what I'm saying is, like, you're supposed to do things along with Axe, like take a shower. The problem is, these kids don't be taking showers. They put on Axe and they think they're supposed to smell like, you know, that they the best shit ever. And I'm just like, bro, take a goddamn shower. Like, how about we put some soap on that goddamn body? Like, that's all I'm saying, man.
All I'm saying is somebody's buying this stuff.
Oh, I'm not saying
And
people ain't buying it, but grown ass adults shouldn't be.
well, it's my wife is chiming in with the obvious. We all know it's teenage boys. I'm just saying it's still around. And now
Yeah,
she growls. She growls right now.
it's still around, and now they put flowers in it. So
Oh, they
maybe
put flowers in it. So
I
is
mean,
that the new pheromone?
well, no, it's just they, once again, lipstick on a pig. You know, you if you go down to the slop and you sprinkle it with some damn Lysol, it smells like Lysol, but it's still shit. So like, I mean, it's worse. It's worse than cologne.
It's worse than cologne.
Yeah, because
Okay.
like you spray, and that's the thing, right? Your teenage boys just spray it all on them. You know, I got 10 minutes. I ain't got no time to take a shower. Let me spray this Axe. This will cover that shit up. What's up, girl? And then you mad the girl look at you got with the stink face. And it's like, bruh, but yeah, teenage boys use it and teenage 20-year-olds use it too. So
Understood.
right, it does, people do buy that shit. But
anyway, I'm doing okay. Everything is cool. I have enjoyed my time off.
I'm glad you took a shower though.
Oh
I'm
yeah, I
glad-
always take a shower, man. I tell you what, my hygiene has gone somewhere else. Now, I'm a grown man. Okay, that's
gone somewhere
still
else. They
fair
took
to
a
say.
vacation.
But man, when I got married, the wife taught me some things, bro. I was looking back, I was kind of trifling.
Boy, you take a shower like every third day or some shit.
No, it's not about taking a shower. It's the nuance. It's the detail. I'm telling you,
Like-
man, when you get
like
married,
what?
you're gonna be better off. If you marry the right woman, you're gonna be better off. sir.
Like what? I'm curious
this
now.
is okay, I'll tell you what. My
Just
biggest
give me one thing. Just give me one
I'm
thing.
getting ready to give you. I'd probably give you a
Alright.
few things. I would routinely let my wash rack. Well, it's not let my wash rack because the wash rack is going to get moldy because he spent a lot of time wet and damp. But I would not bother to change the rag.
For
Like
how
I would
long?
wash it, but it would still smell like
For
I
how
guess
long?
mold, huh?
For how long?
Forever.
No,
I would
like
just-
how often do you wash it?
like every week with the rest of the clothes.
Okay.
But eventually you have to cycle through these things and throw them away.
Yeah.
Because right. And I wasn't doing that.
Bruh.
I would just use this. I would use the same wash rack for 10 years. I promise you.
Bruh.
I'm
Come
just
on,
letting you know. I'm just letting you know how much better this woman over here has made me.
Yeah, you don't
I'm
smell like
telling you.
mold no more.
Huh?
You don't smell like mold no more in Axe.
Sir, I never smell like Axe because I've never used Axe. So go F
Or-
yourself right now. Thank
Or
you.
Dracar Noir.
Really? Really? Shout out to Dale Earnhardt Jr. Really? Shout out. Anyway, yes, and you know what? My kitchen cleaning skills are high, but they weren't as consistent because sometimes I would go to bed, leave the dishes, and I didn't care. If I was tired, didn't feel like it, whatever, I'll get it in the morning. I never left dishes in the sink, for days. Don't get me wrong. I'm not that guy. However, 24 hours, yeah, I might leave some dishes in the sink, whatever. So, pet peeve number one of the wife. Not because when I say pet peeve, I mean she ain't gonna leave me for this, but it is a little irritating. Okay.
She's gonna give you the side eye.
Yeah, she's gonna give me the side eye for sure.
Bruh.
And pet peeve number one: don't leave dishes in the sink. Don't leave dishes in the sink.
I'm guilty of that.
Well, I will I have a habit of just staying up and staying up. But if I know I got dishes to wash, dude, I'm all over it.
I mean, don't you have a dishwasher?
I mean, ew. And that's where we differ, but that's a whole nother story. But I'm telling you, she's made me better. I don't feel like I need to use a dishwasher when I have two hands and Dawn. Why you need a dishwasher when you have all those tools?
All right.
I mean, again, we differ, man. I'm not.
I
Look,
understand.
man. All I'm saying, look, hey, that's another
sound like
podcast
me.
altogether. It's another podcast altogether. What I'm telling you is because she has certain things that she does not like, and my idea of life is to stay married. Okay, so you do what your wife, you don't do what your wife doesn't like, and you do the things that she likes, or vice versa, depending on the situation.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, man, she's made me better. But having that fear, having that fear, I'm telling you, I will get up at 2:00 in the morning if I'm watching YouTube videos or whatever it is and wash dishes to make sure it's all clean. Now, the only time I won't wash dishes, it depends on what it is. Like if I have to wash the air fryer, I won't do that. That's too much noise. However, anything else, bro. So she's made me a lot better. Telling you, man, folding clothes. I can fold panties better than her. And she just said, true story, 100%, bro, 1,000%. I can fold panties better. I can fold panties better than most women.
Well, because you like them more.
No, it's not that at all. It's all about. I'm motivated by making my wife happy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. She's made me better by having that fear of loss. And I've talked about my fear of loss and that being a motivating factor on the show before. And I'm telling you, she has made me much better. So now I am running around funky because my wash rags aren't moldy.
Well, that's good.
And the other thing too, all of my underwear, I don't have any underwear with holes in them. Not anymore.
Yeah.
I have no socks with holes. But here's the thing.
Jesus Christ, man.
Look, man.
You're trifling as hell.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm not trying to hide this. I'm not trying to hide it. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Dudes, number one, Mo B, happy Father's Day, sir.
Thanks, man.
But my dudes, once you accept the fact that you are a Padawan, okay? You have some mitochondria, but you still like, you force sensitive, but you still, hey, you know what I'm saying? So once you accept the fact that you're a Padawan, hey, and you go through the training, this is what you will find out. Your female Jedi Master is a little trifling. And I'll tell you why. Because if my wife could see a hole in undergarments 10 miles away, 10 miles, it'd be like, hey, you got to get rid of this. Why? Because they're my favorite underwear, man. I promise you. And it's just like, no, they got to go. I'm like, so you know what? I started going through stuff. She said, nah, that's got to go. That's got to go. You get better, right? Okay. I do the laundry a lot. So I see her panties often. So I'm looking, I'm like, no. So I said, what's this? What's this? And she was like, what? And I was like, trifling alert.
Well, because she got a hole in her panties?
Absolutely. It was fraying. Some of the frilly stuff was fraying. And I was like, oh, no, you got to get rid of this. No, that's not blah, blah, blah. I was like, no. Because you out here in these streets throwing away my hangs, but I can't throw away your Vicky's Secret. You tripping. They going all in the trash. And I felt extra brazen because I'm the one that's paying for the new ones. So I don't really care how you feel. So just letting you know, sirs, you out there, your wife telling you stuff or whatever, just get good at it because the reward comes. There's two rewards. Number one, you'll be better. Two, you'll get to throw her words back in her face because it's so much fun. So much fun. Just saying. So anyway, moral of the story is I'm a lot better than I was. The byproduct is she's not as good as she needs to be for me not to be able to get back. Because trust me, when I throw away some of her stuff, I throw it away with a little bit more glee than I should have. I'm just saying. Especially her running shoes. Oh, I love throwing those away. Because she gets emotional, man.
See,
I'm just evil, man. I don't even care. I don't care about how you feel. Throw them away. And again, I feel extra brazen because I'm the one that's got to buy some more. I'm like, whatever. I'm just saying. Hey,
right about
right, CB. That's right. You know what time it is. I bet I ain't gonna say that. But I bet his wife put him in the same situation. But when it's her turn to pay, she act like she ain't got no money, just like mine. Gotta pay that tax, baby. So I'm coming to get you. I'll throw away. I will run through her stuff and throw it away. I really will.
Oh, yeah.
But again, I'm the guy who's got to pay for the new stuff. So I know I'm a trip. I know I'm a trip.
So you throw it away and she come home with a gift card from Victoria's Secret.
I mean,
she know what's up.
every time I get it in the email, because they send me the emails because I'm the one that's on my Amex card. So I'm like, well, he said, hey, they're having a sale. You want to go get some? I'm okay. And let me throw some stuff away. See what happens. Sure will. That's that one time I'm not scared.
I'm gonna be honest, AG. I didn't realize you were that trifling though, bro.
Bro, I'm telling you, look, man, I'm telling you, when you meet the right woman, you will find out how nasty you are. Because there's a lot of things that I just don't do anymore because I'm accountable. I'm awful. I'm awful. I used to be. I'm good now. And really the key for me is whatever path she puts in place, that's the path I follow. So if she straightens something out and she, gets it all together and all the things are good, that's the pattern I work with.
Well, all right.
That's the pattern I work with. And so when she make little changes that don't make sense, it's like, what's this? What's this? Look a little. What are you doing? What are you doing? Well, I thought it's a bad idea. Stop it. Go back to the other. Go back and do the other thing. Go back and do the other thing. I can only do one thing at a time. I'm just saying. But when you get to be a Jedi Master too, you see stuff, man. You see it different. I'm not a Padawan anymore. I'll be 10 years next year. I'm not a Padawan anymore. Made my own lightsaber and everything. Just saying.
What color is it?
Oh, I'm purple, just like Samuel Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Except I ain't gonna let her throw me out the window.
Nah, don't do that.
I'm just saying. I know she looked at me the other day. She said, "The Force is strong in this one." Just saying.
I'm sorry you walked into this, Moby. What's going on, brother?
I mean,
Moby always walks into something.
I've walked into worse.
You see, told you.
Just like AG.
But I'm gonna say, I was not. I disagree. I was not that trifling before. I refuse to conform to this ideology that I was somehow some disgusting ass human being until my wife fixed me. That shit is just not true. Like, I mean, did I have some things I need to work on? Of course, but nah, I wasn't one of these commercials where like I didn't know how to fucking vacuum clean until my wife told me how, or I didn't fucking know how to do anything without. I just wasn't that guy, and I'm not gonna act like I was. And I don't care how bad that might make someone feel. Nah, she didn't have to fix me in that capacity. I was not that guy. I didn't have holes in my underwear because I didn't want holes in my underwear. I mean, that's just not. I mean,
if your legs went through.
I mean, if anything, I was the person like, hey, baby, you need to get rid of this shit because it's old. Like, what are we doing? If anything, that was me.
Because it's old.
Yeah, hey, just come on, man. Like, we can do better. Like, we can do better.
Oh my gosh.
And I get it, man. Like, I'll never understand how it is for a woman to be like, hey, man, these big ass bulky cotton period panties make me feel comfortable, that time of the month. Cool. But you can do that without them having holes and tears and being holding on by one strand of elastic on that waistband. Like, we can do better than that. Like, I can go get you some fancy bloomers from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And you can be comfortable, man. Like,
this fool said bloomers.
That's what they are. That's what they are.
Like, we can do that.
But if you wear bloomers.
Dude,
man,
wait a minute.
The fuck up, man. Shut the fuck up. You talking about stuff that you have no right to talk about, man. If she wants to wear bloomers because she feels bloated or because she's just lounging around, nigga, you just gonna have to get used to that. That ain't got nothing to do with you, and you need to stay the fuck out of women's business. Like that's like I said, you stay out of white folk business, you stay out of women's business. You just need to accept that ain't got nothing to do with you, and you need to know your damn place, and that ain't it. And unless you're trying to provide her with newer bloomers, you need to, as they say, shut the fuck up.
I feel like every episode, Moby is telling me for some reason to shut the fuck up.
I'm just saying.
Actually, he's 10 for 10 because usually when he tells you to shut the fuck up,
I'm just saying. I'm speaking out of experience, man. What I'm saying is, man, like you don't have to go down this path, man. You fighting battles that your ancestors have fought before you, and you
And
need to
lost.
learn. Yeah, you need to learn from their lessons. Like don't make their trials and tribulations go in vain just because your dumb ass is too ignorant to fucking read up on history and not repeat it. Like this, we we can do better. Since the beginning of time, men have been telling the men below them, "Hey man, stay out of their business, man. If that shit don't directly affect you, let them have it." You know who first said happy wife, happy life? Some old ass nigga that was talking to some young dude. Like, hey man, pick your battles, youngin. Pick your battles, youngin. That young blood, I'ma tell you.
Blood.
You
He
you
loves to say.
you would be a lot happier in life if you just pick your battles. I ain't saying you gotta fold all the time. I'm just saying you ain't gotta play every hand. Sometimes it's okay to just call, put your hand on the deck, and just say, "Hey, I'll play the next hand. I'll play the next hand." You ain't gotta pick every battle, man.
I hear you. I hear you.
That's why all them old men that you see that been married for 40, 50 years, they got one thing in common. Actually, maybe two. One is they usually chill as fuck. You know why? Because they got 40 years of learning. Man, I ain't about to stress out over some shit that don't make me any happier in this present moment. Like if that shit ain't affecting what's happening right now, you can have it. You can have it. And they learn how to be honest in a very self-deprecating way. Because you can tell a woman anything as long as you make yourself the bad guy first. But as long as you make yourself the bad guy first, she can receive your criticism. If you just throwing out blanket criticism, mm-mm, mm-mm.
I'm
Y'all
gonna,
gotta be
I'm gonna have
y'all
to
gotta be in
disagree with you there. I'm gonna have to, because she's not gonna be able to accept your criticism no matter how you lead.
whoa, 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 whoa. No, I didn't say she'd be able to accept it. I'm just saying if you're gonna do it, you better have some skin in the game too.
But what
That's
I'm
fair.
saying is, you can put all the skin you want. It's not gonna matter. You're
Once
never
again,
right. You're
once
never right.
AG, I didn't say nothing about being right, bro. Bro, don't you go doing that. I ain't say nothing about being right. I ain't say not one time did the word right come out of my mouth at all. I simply said if you're gonna do any criticism in there, you better be willing to criticize yourself first, and you better understand that she still ain't gonna take it. She ain't gonna like it, and she's still gonna make it your fault. So you
True.
might as you
That's
might
what I was looking
you
ahead.
might as
There
well
you go.
get ahead of it and make it your fault first.
But actually, you know what? To piggyback on what you're saying, I go through this in my mind, so I never even bring it up.
Oh yeah,
I decide what's worth it before I open my mouth.
that's called picking your battles, man.
Truth.
Look, all men who have been successfully in long-term relationships. I ain't even gonna say marriage, just a long ass relationship. The one thing you learn how to do is kind of be psychic. And not psychic like you could read her mind, like
Not Miss
psychic
Cleo.
like you got to understand what's going to happen if I say this. You got to be able to play that out. You got to Doctor Strange this shit in Avengers. Like you got to play through all the millions of the scenarios, and you got to find that one scenario in which you survive,
This guy here.
and that's the one you've got to play. We've got one play to make. That's it.
Sometimes, like he said in Endgame, sometimes there is no play. You're gonna die. It doesn't matter. You're gonna die.
Jesus.
That's funny. Man. That's funny.
Ah,
Hey man, just like I said, replay some of these podcasts, put it in your hip pocket, so when you meet the one, you can make a better decision. Just saying. Just saying.
Black Morticia Adams, how you doing? Happy Father's Day to Moby, because you know.
He's a dad.
So let's get into some stuff here. So this episode, I decided that I really, really, really just had some questions.
Okay,
Just
AG,
about-
I want to cut him off. You notice he said he decided, right?
Yeah, I
Yes,
said
you
that.
did.
So
I
he
said that.
decided. So
Yes.
because it's his show, right?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Oh, this
Thank
guy.
I don't claim any responsibility in this show outside of audio,
Yeah.
sir. I do not.
So it's another one of Ruben's thought-provoking questions. So I'm gonna ask a question, and I would like for y'all to answer.
He's not going to have any answer.
No, it's not for him to answer.
Yep.
That's not true. I will
Oh,
answer
you're going to be
last.
involved in this?
I'm going to answer last.
Okay.
Bullshit.
Because it is very important that I need to explain why this question came about and why I asked it.
Understood.
So, all right. So, some questions I found somewhere else. Some questions are part of some shit I went through. So I'm gonna be open and honest about that. Today was one of those days. And actually, I think every Father's Day is one of those days for me. So I'm at Walmart doing my thing, doing my shopping. No problems. Whatever. And as I leave, the person at the door, they see my bag, so they're like, you good. They say, Happy Father's Day. I don't remember if I said anything back or not. I really don't. I feel like I might have just said thank you just because that's what you should say. But not being a father, at all, not remotely. As far as I know, there are no little Rubens running around here. And Lord knows if they are, it's too late. So like, I feel like I don't know if I should feel some certain way because I'm not a father. But like, I don't know. That's my question. Like, I know Mo B's a father. I mean, I know AG is technically, but he ain't just because of ages and stuff like that. But should I feel weird about someone saying Happy Father's Day to me when I ain't got no kids?
Yeah, I'll answer this one. No, because really what it is, well, I'll tell you what, if it's a complete, because that happened to me Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, Lauren and I went out for a walk, and the guy said Happy Father's Day, and he caught me off guard and the same thing back, should have. But no, it shouldn't be weird you out from a stranger, because a stranger is presuming that if you look like you're of a certain age, then chances are you are dad. The other thing that rides piggyback on that is I feel like it's just men respecting men, going, I see you. Whether you're a dad or not, Happy Father's Day.
Well, it was a woman who told me that. So
either way,
okay,
it's still a tip of the hat for me, because this is the one time of the year where you are halfway respected. So if somebody says that to you, then just say, you can either say thank you, or you can whatever you want to do, but just acknowledge it. It's not something you feel weird about, because they don't know you. They don't know you. So, that's how I take it. So, because it happened to me, actually went to get my wife some dinner, and the dude hit me in the parking lot with it. And I just said, thank you, Happy Father's Day, kept it moving. Now, I don't know if he was a father or not. He didn't know if I was a father or not, because he was with his woman and I was by myself. But it's still a tip of the hat. So I don't take time to act weird about it. It's just, I understand where it's coming from. And it's coming from a place of love and respect. I presume so anyway. So that's how I take it. What you do, Moby? Well, before you had kids, did that ever happen to you first?
I honestly don't remember if it ever happened, but no, you shouldn't feel weird. I mean, because to be honest, I know for a fact that a lot of women who ain't mothers get told Happy Mother's Day on Mother's Day, and most of them probably don't feel bad about it. They just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? They just keep it moving. I mean, and honestly, most women probably just want to hear that on Mother's Day anyway. Not saying just if you're not. What I'm saying is the presumption of saying Happy Mother's Day is okay. You know what I'm saying? You just want to. You don't want to let them pass by and not acknowledge it, even if you don't know. So I think people are just looking at age and playing the statistics game and saying chances are you might be a father, so Happy Father's Day. I don't take any offense by somebody incorrectly guessing if I am a dad. That's weird. Like, I mean, you don't know. I mean, I got told Happy Father's Day this morning, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. I didn't realize it was Father's Day.
Are you for real? Wow.
Like this morning, man, Terry hit me up, said Happy Father's Day, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize it was Father's Day. And then maybe 30 minutes later, I forgot again. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying that to be funny or anything. It's just like
The kids didn't hit you up?
well, they was asleep still. So I mean, it was morning. So, but yeah, of course, everybody said Happy Father's Day once everybody was up and everything. But I'm just saying, when I woke up this morning, my first thought wasn't it's Father's Day. My first thought was it's Sunday. You know what I'm saying? It's Sunday. I ain't got to go to
Yeah.
work today. That was the day to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't. And I mean, I was thinking, I'm like, there might be Father's Day commercials and stuff on TV, but I don't really see it get publicized to the point where I notice, and I don't really watch enough TV to really notice. I didn't really see my first Father's Day commercial until today, and it's all Home Depot and Lowe's, and I just thought how funny it is that on Father's Day, a acceptable gift is a gift that allows us to do shit for women like tools.
But don't you get that woman a vacuum?
Exactly.
Won't stay married.
Exactly.
I wouldn't get a woman a vacuum if she asked for it. Not on that day.
No, not on that day. I'll give it to you the next day. I'll give it to you after Mother's Day.
There you go. Actually, I'll give you 7 days grace on that. I'll give it to you next Sunday. How about that?
Actually, I might not even give it to you. I might just be using it one day and be like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave this here. Just gonna leave this here.
So Black Watcher Jab said, I'm a whole woman. It was still Happy Father's Day. All I did was cut my locks, so don't feel bad.
Wow.
First of all,
I thought you were gonna say you were getting told Happy Father's Day for different reasons, because it is the day that single women all over the world unite to jack a day from us. Like,
yeah.
Shout out.
Are they jacking the day? Nowadays, it's like, single moms, man, they get a chance to be everything, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, shout out to all the singles moms out here doing both
Father's
things.
Day.
God,
See,
I dated my dad's grill just so he can grill for me.
I mean, see, that's the move right there.
And
you
see,
get shit to help
Nikki 424. That's I don't know how old you are, but I'm not going for that lie you just told.
Who told that lie? We love appliances, especially.
No. Yeah, y'all might love appliances, but I'm not giving you one for Mother's Day.
Not on Mother's Day. Hell,
I'm not doing it.
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna call Nikki a liar. I'm gonna say, Nikki, you just got to understand, from male's point of view, we have been deceived by that statement before.
Yes.
And these three brothers up here is not falling for it. You might be one of the people that's like, oh my God, this is just what I needed. And that's great. Like some lucky dude is gonna be happy to have you. But I still hope he don't make that mistake, because you might appreciate it today, but let your ass get in an argument with him in a couple months. Then you're gonna get upset about that shit.
All you got for Mother's Day was a vacuum for me.
Because y'all love to pull shit out your back pocket from years ago. I mean, look, no, the first time machine was a woman, because can't nobody go back to the future like a woman, boy. Pull out all them statements.
Girl,
well, you know what? I would give you a refrigerator, but I would still put a necklace and some flowers and some chocolates inside of it. But I still don't want to give you a refrigerator on Mother's Day.
And here's the thing, and the thing is, we're being so stereotypical and judgmental, but we've just got such a trauma about this that it's protecting ourselves. Like, even if you are that woman who's gonna love that shit, we just got too many trauma examples that we just like, nah,
the numbers don't ride with that.
We can't do that. That might be exactly. You might hate jewelry. You might hate flowers. You might hate candy. Unfortunately, we gonna go with that shit, because I ain't bringing
we got a shot.
Because you won't be able to tell me later I didn't do it.
Yep. What'd your man get you? Well, he just got me some damn chocolates. That's it. What'd your man get you? A vacuum cleaner? Girl, what is wrong
Hold
with you?
on. If your kids do that,
Yeah,
different.
that's cool.
That's
Ki-
different.
kids get a bypass that
Absolutely.
your significant other does not get.
Nope, not at all.
Nor should we. Nor should we. I'm just gonna be fair in it. Nor should we get it.
I agree. If somebody gave me a KitchenAid stand-up mixer on Father's Day, I'd be overjoyed. But I'm telling you right now,
I'm gonna play the statistics game and just
424,
say that you
I'm
might
not
say
doing
that. I'm just not gonna believe you. Like I'm just
yeah.
and I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just simply saying I'm not gonna believe you.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. I would say that she is speaking from a vacuum. She's speaking for herself. She's not understanding that this has a whole nother life.
Yeah, and like I said, we're not saying that you aren't sincere in that. We're just saying that we don't trust it.
I mean, and I think a KitchenAid stand mixer is very specific.
I mean, it's probably
the
something
specific
she
shit.
wants. It's a $250. I mean, depending on the attachments that you buy, it could be like a $500 piece of equipment. I totally get it, but I'm not giving it to her on freaking Mother's Day.
All right. And I'm going to respond to this. I'd complain if you get me something I don't like. As a guy, in my experience, I have found you're going to complain anyway.
Wow.
Like, I mean, at some point in time, a complaint is going to happen. So I can't live my life based on what you might complain about, because then I just would do nothing. But you complain about that too. So like I accept my complaints, and I try to navigate through this spectrum as well as I can. Just as well as I can. I play the law of statistics, and I say, statistically speaking, this gives me the greatest chance of success. Doesn't guarantee success, but it gives me a better chance. And most of the time, that's what guys are doing. We're just playing the odds, man. We're just counting cards and hoping that we can overcome the odds, even though we know the house always wins.
We're trying to Rain Man that shit.
We're trying.
Well, actually, there is one thing. You need to understand game film. You need to understand who you're with, and you need to work at it and see patterns and all that too. In addition to what Moby said,
yeah,
because he ain't wrong. He's not.
So Black.
But I would just say between Nikki D424 and Black Morticia Adams, we'll just market that y'all are special women. However, by and large, yeah, none of that stuff y'all are saying is real.
Minority.
I'm not even gonna say they're minorities. I'm just gonna say I have so much trauma that I just wouldn't trust it anyway. You know what I'm saying? I have so much trauma that, like, you could show me hardline facts that 70% of women do value this, and I would just be like, I got too much trauma. I can't trust your numbers.
All I'm saying is it's got to come from somewhere. It's not unreal. And if all three people up in here have trauma, then I'm just saying.
Shout out to their youngest son, father, who passed away in 2019. Represent. Yeah. And she did mean father. She put that later, right there, father.
So and I appreciate that. However, y'all are in the minority by a long shot.
And yes, Nikki, we do play roulette because that's the only game we feel like we actually got a chance at, but we understand we don't got a chance. So I mean, because blackjack, we always either folding or crashing. So like roulette, maybe that little white ball might land on black every now and then. We got a shot.
So Wesley Snipes says they always bet on black.
That's right.
Which is hilarious considering his like dating preferences. That's such a.
Well, I mean, and to his credit, that's what she said. I'm just saying, if I can quote my wife, that's what she said. I mean, come on now.
Jesus. Y'all too. All right. So my phone decided I want to do this. All right. So let's change it up a little bit. All right. We're going to talk about very briefly, because I feel like we need to talk about it, even though there's really only one person who has experience with it in this group. I still want to talk about it because I think that we all can give pretty good opinions on it. So, of course, the women's basketball team was named, yada, yada, yada. I don't really care. I don't care. That's not what I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about who's there. However, what I do want to talk about is the excuses that I'm hearing about it. Well, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to make sure we can win our 7th gold medal in a row or whatever. Are women's sports in their own way as far as marketing goes? Because I feel like that. I mean, for God's sakes, man, today I turned on ABC, and you know what was on ABC today? Professional lacrosse. What? Like, professional lacrosse was on ABC. And later on, they had women's basketball, but that's not the point. I feel like that marketing-wise, they're just shooting themselves in the face. Because, and this is just my opinion, you take the 10 best women basketball players in America, they should destroy everybody in the Olympics. They've done it 6 straight times, or 7 straight times. I don't remember what it is. Why don't you put like Angel Reese and a Caitlin Clark on the team so you can build the future and you can market the hell out of your sport the same way? So that's why I asked this question, because I feel like, I just feel like in some things they just shoot themselves in the foot. And anybody can answer first. I see Bobby's face, so I know.
Yeah, I've been looking at his face, but he can't wait to get in that. I mean, you might want to. Yeah, anyway. But for my part of it, what I'll say is, from what I've learned since Caitlin Clark has been left off the Olympic team, I just go by what women basketball players or women that are in the know in the basketball world tell me. And if you are not better than the women that are chosen, then you don't need to be on the team. That goes for Angel Reese too, but really what we're really actually talking about is Caitlin Clark. So at first I was shocked because, but I don't know. So if McNutt is telling me this, if everybody that's a woman basketball player is telling me this, if the coach of the team is telling me this, and I look at the numbers and I go, well, okay, I understand. And I keep it moving because I don't know. I am not well enough versed in this world to really have any opinion. So when they give me facts, I will generally fall in line. So of the 12 women that were chosen, it doesn't look like she's better than any one of them. So they got their team. They're going to go get that gold and keep it pushing. So that's what I have about that part. Now, shooting themselves in the foot, I'm not really understanding what you mean by that part. So that's where I'll let Moby just really answer the question, but that's my part. That's the answer to the part that I have a little bit of knowledge in. So what you think, Mo?
I just want people to shut the fuck up. Like, and I want people who are brand new to this shit, just like me, to stop advocating this marketability thing that we're trying to do. Like, it's when you say women are shooting themselves in the foot, it's like, it's so disingenuous for anybody to come out and say, marketing wise, they should just put Caitlin Clark in because she's gonna help elevate women's basketball. Because she ain't asking for this. Like, she hasn't asked for this. So when we have all of these men, because that's what it is, it's all of these men coming and telling the women how they should market their game, when just a couple years ago, until white people really got super interested in Caitlin Clark, these men didn't even care about the sport. But now we're trying to tell them how to run their sport. Now we've got all the answers to how to fix women's basketball. And Caitlin Clark is responsible for all this. We got to make Caitlin Clark the centerpiece of everything. It's annoying. And for us to switch up our stance, because everybody talks about the original dream team and they go, well, yeah, they put Christian Laettner on the team because he was super popular college player, white, Duke, had won national championships, had a great resume, and they put him on a team. And they did it, for marketability. That's such revisionist history, because when they did that shit at the moment, it got bashed because they left Isaiah Thomas off to put Christian Laettner up there. And they all knew that they were doing it for Jordan.
That's
Now,
very true.
Caitlin Clark, these women might not have a problem with Caitlin Clark, but these women who've been here, who most of them statistically, just going by the numbers statistically, they're still better than her. These women might not have wanted Caitlin Clark on the team over any of these other women. Like, we need to put that in, like, they might not have wanted her there. And that doesn't mean they're shooting themselves in the foot, or they're quote unquote biting the hand that feeds them, or they should all be bowing down to this white girl that's come to save the day. It's like, no, these are professional athletes who are competitive, and professional athletes got there because competition drives them. So yes, a lot of these women are like, yeah, Caitlin Clark is dope. Yeah, we're super happy that Caitlin Clark has brought all these eyes to our sport. But that chick ain't better than me. She's just more popular than me. I bet if you ask any of them women that are on the team, none of them think she's better than them. They all just think she's more popular. Like, even the oldest member on the team, everybody's like, well, she's 42. Why is she up there? Man, ask Diana Taurasi, does she think Caitlin Clark better than her? She gonna be like, fuck no. I schooled that young ass bitch. And she might not use those words.
She almost would.
She
almost
might.
would.
Because I'm saying, because she said stuff like that before. So it's like, yo, they don't think she better than them. So why should the committee select her just because it's gonna make a whole bunch of men happy? Because that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the success of WM. Because here's the thing, man. If you were gonna watch the Olympics for women's basketball, you were gonna do that anyway. And if you're gonna watch just because Caitlin Clark was there, you're gonna be disappointed anyway. Because even if she had been on the team, how much would she have really been playing? How much did Christian Laettner play in the Dream Team? You can't find one Christian Laettner goddamn highlight from the Dream Team, except in the layup line before the games. That's probably it. So would we have been happy if they picked her on the team and then didn't play her? Because then the whole Olympics we'd be hearing about why they're not playing Caitlin Clark. They're shooting themselves in the foot. The most popular woman should be getting more playing time. So my thing is, man, if Caitlin Clark, which, look, this whole WNBA experience has actually made me like Caitlin Clark even more. Because the one thing she ain't done, she ain't complained about none of this shit. She don't want none of these people that are caping for her. She just wants to play basketball. Now, if you ask her, is she better than those women on the team? I'm pretty sure, because she's a competitor, she probably like, yeah, I'm better than half of them. I might be better than all of them. But she also respects them enough to know, but they've earned their stripes. Like, they not up there because they scrubs. They up there because somebody still thinks they're the best basketball players, and it helps us put the best basketball team together. So while all these men are up here talking about, hey, they're messing themselves up, they're not marketing their game the way they're supposed to, bro, if you really cared about how much they were marketing the game, you'd have been trying to help them market the game years ago. Like, that's the one thing I'll say about Draymond Green. We killed him a couple years ago when he was like, the WNBA needs to get a better marketing team. But you know what? That man said something. He stood on business. He even offered suggestions.
He got destroyed.
He got destroyed for doing it. But I had respect because he was like, yo, they should be bigger than what they are. And they could do different things. So now that Caitlin Clark's here, now the rest of these dudes and all these men in the media want to come in and say, well, you know,
they want to join the party.
And Stephen A, cooning ass, wants to say we need to protect the investment. Bro, how disrespectful is that to Caitlin? If you went up to Caitlin and was like, hey, you think we should be protecting you so you can come save the WNBA? She'd be like, what the fuck I need protecting for? You saw me hoop on Iowa when you can't name two other players on the goddamn team, and I got to the national championship twice. I don't need nobody protection. I hoop. That's what I does. And I'm gonna figure this WNBA shit out too. And in a couple years, I'm gonna dominate this shit like I did in college. At least that's what she's gonna think. And why wouldn't she? Her whole track record has shown that's what she's gonna do. She won't the highest rated player out of high school. She
Not
won't the
even
highest
close.
rated player when she was a freshman in college.
Nope.
She worked for this. So for us to feel like now we gotta coddle her, that's disingenuous to who she is. So like the whole argument about are they shooting themselves in the foot? Are they not managing their marketability correct? Man, miss me with that, man. Like I really don't like Angel Reese's get down sometimes, but I totally understand why she feels the way she feels. Like and that's what separates me from I think a lot of people that bash her. Because a lot of people are just like, oh man, when she talks, and I'm like, look, I don't like her get down all the time either. But I'm a human, man. And I understand that she was part of the highest rated national championship game of all time. And her team won. And she got a ring. And we still say that she's jealous of Caitlyn. Like she's probably like, only one of us got a ring. My statistics this year make me a candidate for Rookie of the Year. Angel Reese been balling.
Yep.
And that was with me before she got drafted saying I think she might only just be a solid role player. Man, she done shut my ass up. I ain't got no problem saying, hey man, that chick out here hooping. But every day she gets asked a question about Caitlin Clark. And then when she responds in a very genuine human way, I see all these people say, oh man, Caitlin lives rent-free in her head. Oh man, she's so jealous of Caitlin. She not fucking bringing Caitlin up. Our punk asses are. She ain't never came to a press conference and said, hey, let's talk about Caitlin real quick. She always gets asked some question about Caitlin. And then she got to respond. And then we get mad when she's honest. She's a fucking competitor. If you ask her, hey, you think Caitlin better than you? Fuck no. Why should she? She's a fucking professional athlete. I would look sideways at an athlete that said, no, that person way better than me. Nobody says that, especially while you're playing. I get when we retire and you go, hey man, that chick was a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like the way people talk about Jordan. People talk about Jordan now. Hey man, that dude was different. You know what I'm saying? Charles Barkley said, hey, he was the first person that I actually thought was better than me. He ain't say that shit while he was playing, but afterwards he ain't had no problem saying it.
Yeah.
Yo, when you're a competitor, you ain't supposed to be verbalizing out loud that you think somebody better than you. So why do we feel like these women should be approaching competition differently than men? And I get it because most of the things that we attach to sports, we attach to masculinity. And at the end of the day, there's a large sector of the population that just hates the idea that these women are competitive in a way that we define as masculine. We just hate that. We want to see, you got people saying, hey, I don't want to see women dressed like dudes playing sports. Then don't fucking watch. But I don't need femininity in my competitiveness. I just don't. Like, I respect watching WNBA, and I just started watching WNBA, and I'm not going to be one of these pretenders that act like I was watching forever. Now, I've been watching college women's basketball for a couple years, which is why I've slowly graduated to WNBA. But I enjoy watching it now because I enjoy the competitiveness of it. I enjoy seeing them get chippy. I enjoy seeing, women get in each other's face and because to me, that's basketball. I don't look at it as those are women playing basketball. No, those are basketball players. And that's from somebody who used to play basketball. I want to see basketball players do basketball things. That's it. I could care less about your sexual preference off the court. I could care less about how you dress at the press conference. I don't care. Can you hoop? Do I enjoy watching you play basketball? Then I'll tune in. And there was a long time where I didn't want to watch women's basketball. I didn't. I wasn't entertained by it. And I'll be honest, basketball's got better. 15 years ago, Ruben, you've heard me say it. Hey, man, I ain't got no interest in watching women's basketball.
No, you did not.
It just don't entertain me.
No, you did
But
not.
the basketball has got better. It just has. Like it just has. They've got better. The games are more entertaining. The games remind me of basketball in the 90s. And that's the golden era for me. So when I see chippiness, when I see hard play, when I see post play, which you don't see in the NBA because everybody just wants to shoot threes, like I like what the women's basketball is doing right now. So when all these men chime in and make it about them, I'm just like, please shut up. Like, yes, the women do want more eyeballs. They do want more money. They do want popularity. But it's not an equal and fair exchange to be like, because they want these things, they need to forget about the things that they have integrity about. It's not fair for us to do that. Like, yeah, they should be able to want two things at one time. I do want to be respected and paid. I do want to be respected and get my fair share of eyeballs and attention. I shouldn't have to conform to the world for them to accept us. So when people like Stephen A, and not just Stephen A, it's a whole bunch of other people who come on and say they're messing up their investment by not parading Caitlin Clark out front. I'm just like, yo, man, shut up. If you don't like what they're doing, stop watching. We're the problem. They're not the problem. And I don't say we like all men are the problem. Just all the fans that have this idea that we should be putting this one particular white woman on a pedestal, and we should just act like we should all be so appreciative that she has decided to grace us with popularity. That's stupid. And Caitlyn didn't ask for that. Not once has Caitlyn made any statement that suggests that she's wanted preferential treatment, that she's offended by anything that's going on. It's just she wants to play basketball, and we won't shut the fuck up about everything else. So yeah, I'm just annoyed by the question. So that's why I was giving all the face, because I just think it's a stupid concept. It's a stupid question. And I mean, look, stay out of white folk business. Stay out of women's business. Like this just ain't got nothing to do with you. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Shut the fuck up.
There we go. And I will say this, like as Moby said, I've probably been watching women's basketball for a fairly long time. Probably I would say personally, maybe the last 5 years, in the NCAA world, that's when kind of some shifts happen, when Connecticut wasn't running everything and talent decided to get dispersed everywhere. That sort of thing. And like this draft class is phenomenal. This will go down as, I mean, you take Caitlin Clark off this draft class is still freaking awesome.
In the next couple years, draft class might be better.
Exactly. And I mean, you got Cameron Brink in LA. I mean, Angel Reese, man, she's killing it. Like rookie of the year. I will say this: Rookie of the Year might be the toughest vote in the WNBA, in forever.
And I don't think you're wrong with that at all.
Because I mean, there's just people who they're women that's coming out and rookies that doing work, and they're letting them play. And it's honestly, I remember back in the day, Moby hated watching, and I'm gonna say it. Old Dominion University women's basketball.
Really?
Hated it.
Basketball.
Hated it.
I hear you, man.
Because the fundamentals were just so bad.
No.
That's not true.
I disagree. It wasn't the fundamentals were bad. It was that the discrepancy in talent was so bad that if you'd have a dominant team playing a team that had no business being on the court with them. So when you had those games where it had two high-level teams, those were good games. But when you didn't have that, it was really bad. It was either super lopsided or it was just a turnover fest.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember watching games where it'd be 30 turnovers by halftime. And I'm just like, my basketball sensibilities was just like, this is horrible.
I mean, it really, like I said, 5-6 years, probably that's when the full change happened. Like you would go through the NCAA tournament with women, and one seeds wouldn't get challenged until like the Elite Eight. And when I say challenged, I mean
within
they
20.
would 20 or 30. Like that's when the game was watchable. Like Elite Eight, not even Sweet 16. Like the Sweet 16 was almost a joke. But now, I mean, the first round's watchable for the most part. You know, especially I think next year they're going to, or they change it to the pod thing. They're getting away from the home university thing, and I think that's going to do better. So I'm interested to see how that goes. But yeah, man, women's basketball is such a much more positive place now. Just watching some games today, man, I was just like, all right.
But here's the
Yeah,
thing,
watch.
man. Like, I'm also not one of those people that's like, you should love women's basketball just because it's women's basketball. Like,
Yeah, you got
if you're like, hey man, if you're one of those people that's like, hey man, you know what makes basketball interesting to me? I like seeing motherfuckers get dunked on. You know what I'm saying? I like dunks. I like fast breaks. I like super feats of athleticism, and I don't get that from the women's game. Cool. I don't feel like you should be shamed for saying that either.
no.
If you don't like the product, you don't like the product. It's cool. But I just feel like everybody feels like they have to say they like the product. And now because they feel like, because it's popular and it's on the upswing right now, everybody's trying to hitch their wagon to it and act like I was here first. Like that's what really bothered me about the Stephen A. Monica McNutt thing. Because Stephen A. was really trying to hitch his wagon to it like I was here first. And it's like, bro, it's okay to say, like, if he would have just said, yo, we didn't talk about women's sports because I only care about ratings, and that's not going to give us ratings. I might not like that answer, but damn it, I would have respected it because it would have been honest.
Yeah.
It was just an honest answer. I have no problem saying, that's why I had no problem admitting it. Hey, 10, 15 years ago, you wouldn't have caught me watching any women's basketball. Just no desire, none. And maybe some people would be like, hey, you were just being ignorant. You didn't see the right games. Maybe you're right. Maybe I just didn't see the right games. But I ain't got no problem saying I was completely uninterested. But now, I told y'all all year, I didn't watch any men's college basketball hardly. I watched a ton of college women's basketball, a ton of it. And the thing is, it's not even because I'm a girl dad. Because to be honest, my girls don't watch it. They watch the big games with us, like they watched when LSU was playing, or when Iowa was playing, or South Carolina. They watched those couple games, but just on a regular Saturday, me trying to watch girls basketball, man, they ain't had no fucking interest in that. They left the room. It was just me watching it.
Cool. All right. So, let's see here. Nick's like, yes, Clark has a fan base, but she isn't the best. Yep, that's very true. I don't think
Thank
she's
you,
the best
Nikki.
at all. She put herself during college, knew she could all professionally, and so far I'm not seeing it. I don't know if I would agree with that, but everybody's got their own opinion.
No, here's the thing. I agree with that because it's a transition, and for people to act like she was gonna be dominant like she was at Iowa in the WNBA, that's only happened with like two people, like in the WNBA anyway. Like, and it rarely happens in the NBA. But like, unless your name is like Candace Parker, like it doesn't happen.
No, I guess I don't know. For me, like, I think she, everybody loves her for her scoring ability, and from college and stuff. To me, it wasn't about that. It wasn't. It was about everything else. Like, her passing is sick.
You're right, but her assist to turnover rate has been trash this year.
Because they catch her. I mean, they play hard defense on her, and they should.
You say they're playing hard defense on her, and I feel like that's saying that everybody is choosing to only play hard against her. No, it's the fact that everybody she plays now is a professional basketball player. In college, everybody she played wasn't a professional.
No, I disagree. I think our difference are. So, what I mean is, like, they're probably a certain amount of people who get D'd up at the half court line, and stuff like that. To me, that's a matter of respect because they don't want her coming out, setting up the offense and doing what she does. To me, that's respect. So like, I'm not sitting here saying like they're hard, like they're just picking on her. No. To me, I feel like they respect her offense game so much they don't want her to get hot.
But Ruben, they did that to her in college too. The difference is the caliber of person doing it is greater now.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't. I guess what I'm saying is that doesn't happen to everybody. That's all I'm saying. Because even Diana Taurasi don't get D'd up at half court. That's all I'm saying. That's really all I'm saying.
Because Diana Taurasi don't shoot it from damn near half court.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing defense based on her, not because of who she
Correct.
is. It's based on what her skill set is.
Correct.
Because they're professionals with scouting reports.
Correct. All I'm saying is, for me, the intangibles that I liked about Caitlin Clark is what's shining now. The shooting's gonna come. I'm not worried about that. But I like the fact that, she averages like 6 assists and like 5 rebounds a game. To me, that's just as good as averaging 17 points a game. To me. But that's just how I mentally think about stuff. And what I like in a player. You can't build your team once being hyped in a moment. Build a team based on consistent talent. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, that's probably the best comment about this whole thing.
Yeah. And I think that team, if they stay together in 2-3 years,
might be something special.
Yeah. So, all right. Third question. As black men, what do you think, and just list 2, what do you think are 2 important issues that we need to improve upon?
That's a tough question to just ask and just on the spot think of 2.
Yeah. So I'll do mine because obviously I've seen this question for a while, and y'all have it. So I think one of the things that I see, I don't have children, but in my prior job, I worked with a lot of them. And, I think one of the issues that is getting a lot better, but it's still issues, it's just, making sure that we treat our children like children. And let me explain that. So I feel like that I grew up at a time where, my dad, he was hard, but he was fair. And so like, I feel like that I have I have my fears, but I also have my successes. But like, I was listening to some stuff today, and I saw some stats and stuff like that. Now, I can't sit here and say this is true. This is what I read. This is what I saw. Like, 1 out of every 5 college graduates took their parents to a job interview. What? What is that about? Like, I don't even understand what that's about. I don't have kids, so I don't understand what that's about. But never in life did I ever think, hey, Dad, hey, Mom, will you come with me to this job interview? Unless they were taking me there because I needed a ride.
I was just about to say, do we know that means they just necessarily didn't have a ride to get there? So maybe the parent was taking them?
Once again,
I mean,
I'm just, this is what I saw, this is what I read.
What I'm saying is, like, I don't know, because that could be the case. Maybe some of them just didn't have a way to get there. So by definition, yeah, they took their parent to the job interview because that was the only way they asked to get there.
But I guess when I was taken to a job interview, my parents stayed in the car.
I mean,
They
but
didn't come
So you mean they were in the office with the recruiter and everything?
That's what I'm gathering from this.
Like I said, I feel like you're assuming that.
You can't assume that. I want to know for real. Were they in the room with the recruiter?
Yeah, I don't think we have that answer. So I
We
feel
don't.
like we're kind of making an assumption on that.
That's the big
I mean,
assumption.
Yeah.
Because if my mom takes me to an interview, it could be out of support, but she's like y'all said, she's waiting in the car. But I don't know if I was a recruiter, I would hire anybody with, I don't care what your resume was. You bring your mom or your dad in the office with you.
Hell
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, that tells me more than I want to know. So yeah, you got to make sure you know all the information before you say something like that.
Well, once again, that's why I preface it by saying, this is what I read, this is what I heard, this is what I saw. Also, apparently, because I don't have children, you know, the tradition, I guess traditional dads don't exist anymore. I don't understand. But I did see like kids being in like harnesses and shit. I don't know. I saw a whole bunch of shit that I was just like, this is weird. All I know is like, I just want to, my thing is, I feel like I would love for us as men to be present in a child's life, whether we're their parent or we're just an adult.
I mean, I'm confused by that traditional dad thing because I think by definition, men aren't necessarily allowed to be traditional dads anymore because that's perceived as a negative. I mean, because if they're talking about traditional dad in the sense of he works and mama takes care of all the child nursery type things, and mom's the one doing all the cooking, the cleaning, everything. All he does is pretty much work, take care of household stuff. That idea of fatherhood now is very dated, and most women are like, nah, you got to do more than just go work. And much of that reason is because the idea of a traditional mother who can just stay at home and not have to work herself has gone away too. So therefore, the traditional roles have kind of evaporated based on necessity. So I don't know if that's what it means by traditional fathers are gone, because like I, I don't think anybody would accept a dad that just goes to work, comes home and expects the dinner to be on the table and doesn't really do anything for the kids, just kind of sits on the couch and you know takes care of all the bills and shit, but that's all he does. I don't think that idea of fatherhood is even tolerated anymore.
Well, as far as my definition of traditional, I mean, the only traditional I know is both my parents worked, and when they came home, dinner was done, and they both made sure you had your shit together.
Now
Like,
I'm wondering if what Nikki is saying is correct. Traditional equals married, because that could be
that could
maybe.
be.
I mean,
Well, I mean that's kind of what you were just saying, though. You were literally just saying what I think she's talking about.
okay.
Yeah.
Where you said, you're gonna have to do more. Well, she's saying that most men don't do more, so you end up being married, but you're still single mom. So yeah.
Now she's saying shaking my head, and I'm like, I kind of agree with you. Like today, it's especially in the sense where I could totally understand it a long time ago when truly mothers were like homemakers, didn't have to work,
Yes.
and the dad was like out here making sure everything was taken care of, grinding all day, and she was taking care of everything else. But in this day and age where women are fully expected to be working too, for us to then expect them to still do 100% of all the homemaking stuff is fucking stupid. Like that's just, I gotta call a spade a spade.
Well,
Shit's stupid.
But I think so this is where I will jump in and say, I think it depends on your class, because if one of them makes a shit ton of money, then the other may become a homemaker.
But here's the thing. What I'm saying, Ruben, is the amount of people that can afford to do that now is way less now than it used to be. At one point in time, you could support a family household with one income, and that wasn't just something reserved for wealthy people. Like there was a lot of working and middle class people that could afford to do that. Today, working and middle class people generally can't afford that. Generally.
Truth.
Okay.
And based on that, I 100% agree with Nikki when she said it should be a co-parenting equal expectation with the kids. It should be. I just know back in the day that wasn't true. Like it just wasn't. And I'm not trying to cape for women by saying this. I'm just saying back in the day, a dude could just be like, I make the money, that's my job. That's it. Give me the big piece of chicken, you take care of everything else.
Truth.
So, okay. Cool. So, like, and that's, I guess, for me, I think that was 2. I think I
Yeah.
mentioned 2. Yeah. So, AG, did you have an answer to that question?
Yeah, I have one. Your question is impossible as far as I'm concerned, and I'm not. This is not
Awesome.
a dig on you. It's impossible to me because everything I am as a black man is subjective to everyone else. So women control the narrative about my value. White America controls the narrative about my value. Black men control the narrative about my value. I am subject to all of these groups that are telling me what my value is. And it plays itself out in law enforcement, plays itself out, or how law enforcement communes with me, if you will. It plays itself out still, whether you want to believe it or not, what neighborhoods I'm going to live in. It plays itself out on what colleges I'll go to. It plays itself out in so many things, like what y'all were just talking about, because black women see me a certain way. Now, whether Nikki D424 believes what she's saying about that initial comment, or she's just shaking her head about the comment, the thing to me was, when I was a kid, my mom raised me and groomed me to do it all. So that was that June Cleaver going away, because she was not trying to have, and she told me, she was not trying to have me out here not knowing how to mop a floor, not knowing how to at least cook, boil a hot dog and put ketchup on to keep it pushing.
Mm-hmm.
She was not going to have one of them trifling little boys that get married so they can, have another mom. She wasn't trying to do that. And that's how she expressed it to me. So my personal value says I have a lot of value, because number one, I don't need a woman for anything. I can purchase what you can give me. So the rest of it to me is just I can do myself. Because of that boot camp my mom put me through, almost till she died. So it's just like she was teaching me, hey, do this, do that, do all these things. So there's that. And like I said, black men are judging me. How well are you doing? Do you own a house? Do you do this? Do you do that? Do all these things? Did you check these boxes? You got to, you got at least 700 grand at your age. You got about 700 grand in your 401k. Kind of a loser right now, sir. Get it together. So my value is all subject to that. So it's just like, you're asking me, what would I change? And I don't know. I could change everything. I could change nothing at all. Because as far as I'm concerned, what I have a problem with, someone else controls the solution, whether they want to give it to me or not. So, and that's why I said your question to me felt impossible, or is impossible to answer from my point of view. So I don't know. It's not a real answer because it's not what you're looking for, but it's the answer I had because I thought about it. I was like, my value depends on someone else, no matter what I do, to a certain degree. And once I cross that threshold, in my mind, I don't really care what you think, and you really couldn't do anything for me anyway. So there's that. I don't know, man. I don't really have a real answer for you, but that is my answer.
Okay.
Can you repeat the question?
As a black man, what do you think are important issues that we need to improve upon?
I feel like AG feels very similar to how I feel, but I think if there was one thing as black men, I feel like if I could make everybody improve upon, it would be the cooperative expectation of black manhood. And what I mean is we do so much judging on what we should be doing. And we also do so much tearing down of what certain people are doing, because if what they're doing doesn't fit our idea of what they should be doing, we don't just not support it, we try to tear them down. Like if a black guy gets successful doing something and we don't deem that he quote unquote keeps it real enough, we call him a sellout. We say, and we've done it. And I mean, I think we do it for different reasons. Like, I'll be the first person to admit I call the dude a coon sometimes, but that's not because of.
Isn't that a little different though?
That's what I was about to explain. I don't call anybody a coon based on their idea of success. I call it based on how they move morally and ethically, not what they deem as successful. But we, as a community, especially black men, we like to tear down what people do based on how they're being successful. Like, prime example, Russell Wilson. For all intents and purposes, Russell Wilson is a articulate, successful black guy with really the only blemish you might be able to give him is that, like, he kind of code switches too loudly. But I mean, we call him lame. We say he's a cornball. We do all this, but all he is a successful guy who's out here winning, and it's not enough. But we have no problem celebrating almost fictitious characters like Freeway Ricky Ross. Like, some black people love the story of Scarface. Like, we celebrate the wrong ideas of what success, like, because we've shaped this idea of what successful black man needs to be, as opposed to just supporting each other and being successful in however they choose to live. Like, I will never ever down somebody for being successful at what they're successful at. I won't say because you do it a certain way. Like, even somebody I don't F with, like Stephen A. Smith, I won't criticize his success. I criticize how he moves. But at no point in time do I go, oh, Stephen A. Smith sucks as a black man. No. I don't agree with some of his stances. I believe that sometimes he's a lot less supportive of the black community than he'd like for everybody to admit, or that he likes to tout that he's the greatest at everything when it comes to black culture or any form of the culture, period. But I don't criticize his success. I just simply say, I can't move that way. But I don't wish for his downfall. And I think a lot of times we as a people, we wish for our own people's downfall all the time. And I feel like it's almost exclusive to us culturally, because I don't feel like other cultures proactively tear each other down the way we do.
They do in secret.
Maybe, but they don't do it loudly. We do it loudly.
They don't. We do it the loudest because the narrative is out there, and I can't defend it a lot of times.
Yeah, so we just do it loudly. So yeah, maybe I wish we just did it a little quieter. I just say, hey, can we not get messy in front of white folk? Can we just, we look, white people, we didn't fuck with OJ either. But I mean, at the same time, we shouldn't have been dissing them as loudly. You know what I'm saying? We should just like, hey, white folk, mind your business. All right, like,
He still didn't do that shit.
Well, actually, OJ emancipated himself from us. To be fair.
True.
To be fair, I don't claim OJ because he said he didn't claim me anymore. So I was like, okay, since you're not claiming us, then I mean, he voluntarily gave his cookout pass back. He's like, I don't need it. I'm good. I'm OJ. I'm not black. OJ.
He don't like seasoning. That's all.
See? There you go.
He don't like seasoning.
Just boil his chicken and it's fine.
Yeah. No lemon pepper, no paprika, nothing. Just
no. He don't need that. I bet you he doesn't even brine it. Just right out of the package. Put it in some boiling water. You're good.
That's so nasty.
That's so nasty.
Throw a can of green beans over it, put it in the oven, and call it a casserole.
There you go.
That's so nasty.
I'm just saying.
Awesome. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we you're welcome for us not answering your question.
I know, I appreciate it. I probably
Yeah,
would.
I will say before we move on, Nikki D 424 did come up with a good comment about what we were just talking about. The narrative is out there, and when we do something, it's extra.
Yeah.
And when I say extra, I mean they shout the narrative, and then they get a bullhorn and say the same thing. So what she said is absolutely true.
Absolutely true. Yeah.
So when we screw up, they put it on the jumbotron for sure. But that's why I said everybody's culture, everybody's ethnicity, they do the same thing. Ask a Jewish person, they'll tell you they do the same thing. They have sex themselves. So it's just like, and they, in their little factions, and they go back and forth. However, if you're Jewish, I mean, from them to the outside, if you're Jewish, then you are. We'll take care of that other stuff later. That's what Black people don't do consistently enough.
We don't keep our problems in house.
Yeah.
We don't keep our problems in house.
But the funny thing about that is some of us love to fetishize the mafia, yet we don't know how to shut our holes. We don't know how to be quiet. We don't know how to have issues with each other quietly. We don't know how to be upset with somebody without shooting somebody in the face, unless it's warranted. And it's just like, those things like that, we need to work on that. However, everybody is angry with each other. Everybody gets pissed off at each other. But when we do it, they tend to yell it. So she's right about that. Thank you for that comment.
Yep. And with that being said, what's on your mind, AG?
I'm not trying to get a Trump supporter not to be a Trump supporter. I am just saying this for my own benefit.
At least you know that.
Yes. But when a dude says he's going to visit a Black church and he shows up to the Black church and everybody is chanting Trump, 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 and you're looking at it on your phone, and your first thought, because of the information you already know, so your mind is presuming everything right now. So you're like, wow, there's a Black church that everybody wants to vote for Trump. Wow, I just never thought I'd hear that. And then they show you the congregants, and it's just like, well, where are the Black people at? There were none. The whole church was white. Now, I asked my wife, I said, is this, documented, legit Black church? She said yes. I asked her again, are you sure this is supposed to be a Black? Yes. She said yes. I said,
the
okay.
Congregation didn't show up, just a whole bunch of white people did.
Yes, absolutely. Now, they said they had enough Black people out there to, say it was a Black church, because they never got off of that point. They never got off the fact that it was a Black church. And I'm like, okay, it's a Black church. He shows up. The whole congregation turns white overnight. And we're supposed to just believe that this is a Black church. I'm saying this for the benefit of myself, but I'm like, there is no way in the world that I'm going to vote for somebody who would buy a church, tell everybody to get out. Now, I shouldn't say buy, but rent a church, tell everybody to get out, filter in his people, and then turn around and say it's still a Black church. Now, I do respect the hustle, because I was thoroughly impressed by what happened. But I'm like, there is no way I'm going to vote for somebody who was telling me that they're going to take away my 40 acres and a mule too. Just saying. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. And I have to respect it. You have to. Well, you might not like it, but it will behoove you to do so. Because if you respect it, then you understand the game that's being played. I just didn't know that it was just that easy. But it is that easy when you have people that are following you at all costs. Those people are scary. They're idiots. They are. But they are idiots with a plan, and this dude is saying everything they want to be said. And I shouldn't even call them idiots, because they're just following what they want to hear. I'm just saying, I just didn't think that he could play the game at this level until he showed me today. So this is happening, people. Donald Trump says he stopped by a black church. Everybody in the church was white. Or I should say to the 99th percentile was white. And he still said he stopped at a black church. And he had a church full and a rally and all the things. And I know Jesus didn't get talked about. So just to let you know, as a public service announcement, this is happening. If you don't like what I said, go vote. That's what I got. That's what's on my mind.
I know Jesus didn't get talked about, but wouldn't it have been funny if Donald Trump led them in like some gospel song? Like, could you just imagine Trump singing "This Little Light of Mine"?
I'm gonna let it shine. Actually, I can. After what I saw today, absolutely can.
I'm on the battlefield for my Lord.
Hey,
Jesus Christ,
it's me standing in the need of prayer.
Lord, help me out.
Yo, I need that visual now. I need.
Amazing Grace. How sweet the sound.
Save
Hey man, I'm telling you,
like
man.
me.
Hey, saved a wretch like me. But all I'm saying is, this is not hyperbole. Nothing I said was hyperbole. Everything I said was factual. This happened. If you don't like what I just said, go vote. Because this is real, y'all. This is real. He has gone to the next level.
But AG, all good jokes contain truth.
Absolutely.
That's why it's funny.
Absolutely. I don't disagree. I'm just stating to you that this actually happened. So
This
that's
just
what's on
means
my
that
mind.
it just means that everybody's got a price.
Okay, that too. Because I did ask that question. I was like, what did he do to get all the black people to go away? But again, that's not really important
He didn't
anymore.
have to do nothing. He just showed up, and they probably elected not to come.
Maybe. Either way, I respect the hustle. Pay attention. Pay attention. This is happening. Anyway,
What was it, South Carolina?
I don't want to say because I'm not really sure. I was too flabbergasted to really get into that part. But it did happen.
That's a rumor. It don't matter where it happened. It really doesn't matter where it happened.
That's
I'm just more curious about it.
It doesn't matter, sir. You can find it online.
I don't know if I want to see that.
Because
but I
the
kinda
truth of the
feel like I
matter is,
got
it could have happened anywhere.
Absolutely.
I
'Cause
mean,
like
I'm
you said,
I'm
everybody's got
convinced he
prices.
could find one church in every state that's considered a black church, and he could go do that. Because you know what most churches don't argue with? Money.
Money.
So, oh, you want to use our church for something? Cool. How much?
That's right. That's right, KBiako. It was in Detroit proper.
Oh.
It was a black church in Detroit. It wasn't. Now I'm not talking about the
Oh,
suburbs.
that's perfect.
I'm talking about Detroit proper, sir.
because he was in Detroit this past weekend.
Yes, that's what it was. Thank you, KBiako. Absolutely. Yes. This happened in Detroit.
Brilliant. He did it in a state that he needs to. Brilliant.
Whole bunch of fuck that guy.
Though
All
the
right.
people that were sat in those pews today had never been that close to Detroit in years.
I'm surprised
Forever.
that they didn't catch on fire.
Well, it doesn't matter, man. Doesn't matter.
Clearly not. All right, Mo B, what's on your mind?
I got asked a question today, and it was I don't know. I felt like it was a question I should have been able to answer like immediately.
You're not the
I did-
father.
Really, Rue? Really? On Father's Day, man?
I'm just saying.
Come on, man.
But that's not a question, bro. That was a statement.
No, I was just saying, like it was. I hope that wasn't the question. And if it was a question, you should have said, "I'm not the father." But
Didn't.
you know, unless it was your two kids, a third one.
Yet
That's
he's
a whole
still
different
talking.
situation. Yes, go ahead, Moby.
I'm sorry. So yeah, I got asked a question. I felt like I should have known the answer right away, and I did. And I don't know. Part of it made me sad, and then I had to think about it till it took me hours to actually figure out what my answer was. But the question I got asked was, when you were a little kid, what was it you dreamed about being when you grew up? And I absolutely did not have the answer to that question. I feel like most people can remember at some point in time when they were a kid, I dreamed of being this. I wanted to do this. Whether you actually pursued that later on, or whether that just changed as you got old enough to realize that actually wasn't what you wanted to do, or maybe it wasn't even a possibility for you to do it. But I had no fucking idea. My wife asked me, she was like, "What did you want to do when you were a kid?" And I was like, "I don't." And I just was blank.
That's
And
not a
she,
fair question.
what?
That's not a fair question.
What do you mean it's not a fair question?
Yeah, I'm curious. Why isn't it a fair question?
Do you not know what you wanted to do when you were a kid?
So every year on my birthday, Mom had this book, and every year you'd answer questions on it, and the question was, "What did you want to do when you grew up?" And every year, like literally, I've looked at this. Every year was something different. And so,
Well, here's the thing. My daughters do that at the beginning and every year too. We have a little board, take a picture. But here's the thing. It wasn't that I couldn't think of the definitive thing, Ruben. I couldn't think of one thing I ever said thought I wanted to be. Like,
Not even a baseball player or anything? Really?
and that's the funny thing. Like, I wanted to say professional athlete, but maybe when I was 4 or 5, but after that, never. And I say maybe, but I don't really think I ever wanted to do that either. Because I mean, my dad was a professional athlete, and to be honest, I didn't want to be him. And that's not even like a sideways shade at him. I just didn't. And I thought about it all day, and I was like, man, when I was a kid, like what was cool to me? Like what was cool to me? What did I want to do? And I was like, man. And I start thinking about characteristics. Well, I kind of wanted to be like this, and I kind of wanted to be like this, and I kind of wanted to be like this. And like it was a few hours later, and I looked at her, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "A dad." And she was like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because all the symbolisms of things that when I was a kid that I thought were cool, I realized those were things that I saw other men who were fathers doing. So those were the things I wanted to be when I grew up. Like, I didn't necessarily want to be a coach, but a really important figure in my life was a coach, and he was like a father figure to me. Like, some of the things that I thought were cool, I didn't think were cool because I was a kid. I thought it was cool because somebody who had a father capacity did it, and I thought it was cool because they were doing it. So I was like, man, as lame as my kids think I am, all I wanted to do was be a lame ass dad. I tell you all the time, I joke about it all the time. I always wanted to be like Bill Cosby, just sitting in the house being confused. And I'm like, that was it. Most of my life, I just wanted to be a dad. Whatever the definition of that was at the time, like I wanted to be, I didn't even necessarily want to be the cool dad. I just wanted to be the dad because the dad did shit. People cared about the dad, and all the models that I have of it. People respected him, and it just was weird. Like I just wanted to be a dad, and I was like, there's got to be more to it than that. But on Father's Day, I didn't want anybody to cook for me. I didn't want to be taken out. I didn't want any gifts. I wanted to do a whole bunch of dad shit. I made breakfast. I cooked on the grill. I binge watched some random shows I knew nobody would really want to watch with me. I did that shit. And I was like, man, it's kind of all I really wanted to be. And maybe it wasn't the best reference, Nikki, but I just realized that the only answer I could think of that I actually wanted to do was be a dad. And maybe part of that is from my old childhood trauma because the person that was my dad wasn't around a lot. So I found other reference points in my life of people that were cool that I wanted to be like. And the common denominator was they were dads. And not just dads, they were present dads. Once again, no sideways shade, just what it is. Like, just what it is. I don't have any problem with my dad just not going to sit here and act like he was the most present. Some of it was his fault. Some of it wasn't. Doesn't matter. He just wasn't. And all the people I thought were cool and I wanted to be like were present dads. And I mean, I'm not sure how good of a dad I am. I mean, I guess that can be subjective. And it's kind of weird if you're the person calling yourself the good parent. But I think I'm all right. I'm there. I know I'm very much present, whether they like it or not, because I'm sure sometimes they don't. Because I say random shit like you came out my balls, or
I'm still trying to get over that part. I'm like, okay. But
Or
you
you
were there though. They're gonna never forget that. They're
Or
gonna
you
never
take
forget
their
that.
door away from them.
yeah, or I took the door for like 6 or 7 months. You know, fuck, she need that door for? She ain't supposed to shut it anyway.
Forever. That's funny.
But yeah,
Awesome.
that's all on my mind. Like I just realized that Father's Day, that one of the only things I really wanted to be was dad in some capacity. I didn't have dreams about being rich or being famous. Actually, those are the rich part I wouldn't mind. I just know I got the wrong mentality for it, so it's probably a blessing that I'm not.
Petty.
But yeah, very petty. but the famous part, no parts of it. I have no desire to be famous at
Agreed.
all.
Agreed.
Awesome. So I'm gonna throw some shade for a little bit. I don't really throw a lot of shade, but
That's cute. Did you really just say that? The show got to end right now. You
I
want to end the show?
knew y'all would get a kick out of that. So, once again, today in my trip to Walmart, a lot of shit happened today at Walmart. Walmart and CVS, by the way. So, walking around in Walmart, minding my own, and walking past people, whatever. It's white dude, whatever. Make eye contact. What's up? Head nod. What's up? How you doing? Cool. No problems. So I go to CVS and I'm leaving CVS, and older black gentleman, he had like 2 probably grandchildren with him, 2 kids with him. And he once again, how you doing, young man? I'm good, and yourself? Good. That's it. Conversation, we leave. So here's where the shade goes. What I never see women doing that. Ever. I never see, unless one, they know them. And normally everybody knows they know them. What's going on, girl? Blah, blah. It's loud. Because Lord knows everybody needs to hear your conversation. And 2, like, maybe it does happen with women and I just don't notice because I'm not paying attention to them. But I say all that to say this. Like, to me, I think it's cool that for some of it, I'm not going to say the most part, but for some of it, depending on the male that you see, as another male, we at least sometimes give salutations. No reason. We just say hi in our way and keep it pushing. To me, I think I wonder why that happens, but I also think that's awesome. I really think it's cool that we at least are on some level to the fact, whereas, hey, if you make eye contact because you're crossing, you at least speak to each other out of, I don't know if it's respect or whatever the hell it is, but it is. It's what it is. So once again, it's not a lot. I just want to say, like, I think it's cool that men do that. I don't see a lot of women do that. I wish women would do that. Because I never hear anything positive about. I always hear things like, well, women don't like other women. That I know some women, I can't be friends with women or shit like that. Like, but I get it, Well, I don't get it, but I understand women are friends and stuff like that. I just wish that everyone could walk and every once in a while just give a salutation to someone you just don't know. How you doing? Good, and yourself? Good. And you just cross it and you just keep it pushing. And sometimes there are some women who will speak and I will speak back. That's cool. I think that's awesome. That's all I want to say, because I feel like that's part of the problem now with our world. We don't attempt to communicate So because we don't attempt to communicate, we're too busy assuming about the other person. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say people ain't fake and shit, but you know, there's nothing wrong with saying hi to somebody.
It was an
There's
older
nothing
gentleman, right?
The white guy was probably maybe a little younger than me. The black guy was older. But I've had
So the black guy gave you the "I see you, young blood" look.
Yeah, he
I
did.
see you, young blood. I see you. Hey, look, you kind of right, man. Because I don't know what the woman version equivalent of "I see you, young blood" is. Like, because as guys, we all know what that means. If an older dude walks by and says, "I see you, young blood," we all know that is a good thing.
Nigga says sometimes you don't want to speak. And I mean, look, I don't want to speak to these random ass people either. But I do because why not? Especially if they speak to you first. And sometimes we don't speak. We give the nonverbal between men is awesome.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Because I think sometimes, because I hear what niggas saying, sometimes you don't want to speak. And as guys, I don't think we want to speak sometimes too. But I know if I'm walking past somebody and I make eye contact with another guy, I almost involuntarily give the, just a little head nod. Like, I acknowledge that we made eye contact, bro. And because I don't want you to think there's any malice behind this.
How you doing?
What's up, man?
What's up? And the older white men like to give the tip of the hat type deal. I think that's cool. I mean, it's different. But yeah, I think the nonverbal with men is just so interesting. Because you're right. I don't, especially when I got my headphones in, and especially at Walmart. I like my Bluetooth headphones in, my earpieces, not the big old thing like this. But like, yeah, I mean, even with those on, if you make eye contact, head nod, and usually the other dude will do a head nod too, knowing full well, hey, we ain't really got shit to say, but I looked up, you're looking at me, how you doing? That's the how you doing?
Yeah, we got stuck in this eye contact, so we got to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got to do something.
Yeah.
We got stuck in this eye contact.
But with women, I think it's different because I feel like we cannot do nonverbal with women. We literally have to speak. And that's kind of, I'm not going to say it gets weird. It's just different, because I don't think I've ever done any nonverbal with a woman, walking in Walmart or whatever. It's always been, if you look at them, how you doing? Good, and yourself? And that's kind of, unless you're trying to have a conversation, that's pretty much how it goes. Or have a nice day or whatever like that. So, men nonverbal.
I think with men, sometimes we be terrified to say something to a woman because, like, especially trying to say something nice, because like you say something nice to a woman, I feel like a lot of women, and maybe rightfully so, I don't know their experiences, but like you say something nice to a woman, sometimes I feel like she automatically goes on this dude trying to holler at me guard. And sometimes nah, I'm just saying what's up.
Well, see, but that's the whole thing, right? That's the whole thing. Like usually if I make eye contact with a woman and I feel like I have to speak, I go, how you doing? But I don't stop. I keep going.
That's a veteran move. Can't slow down. You can't slow down.
Okay. Because if you stop, that means you might want a conversation, aka I'm trying to hit on you.
You can't stop. That's true.
Two things. You can't stop and you can't look back.
Hell no.
You cannot look back.
But who would want to look back though?
Hey man, you gotta check it out, AJ.
No, not even check it out. Sometimes if you're walking by somebody real fast and you say, how you doing?
We're talking about women now.
You didn't even give them time to acknowledge you, but you can't look back. You can't look back.
No. Because you look back, they're looking at you, and
that's what you're
looking at your ass.
That's what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Lauren and I were talking about this the other day. When I go into a grocery store, because we were talking about how dangerous white women are. And I was telling her, I was like,
oh no, that's hilarious.
That's only funny
because it comes from you.
Because it comes from you.
Oh,
I'm telling you,
that's
man, because
hilarious.
it's
Nikki,
like there
nobody
are
said
so
he was
many.
lying. We're just saying he's the only one that could say that, and it'd be that funny.
And of course, Nikki's like, "You ain't lying."
Hey man, because it's like we were talking about the
Those
the
Korean shit
dude that got hemmed up in the or tried where the lady tried to hem him up in the park in Central Park.
Yeah.
He was telling her to put the leash on the dog. She got upset because she didn't want to be told what to do and didn't want to be told what to do by no black man. So she wanted to call the cops on this dude, try to weaponize law enforcement. And we all know the story. Well, we were talking about it, and it's just like, look, boo-boo, when I go to the store, the only white woman I look at is you. Otherwise, I will walk by a woman and not speak. And I don't care who it is. Now, I don't speak to any woman, but especially a white woman. If I see two white women in the aisle and they have to go past them to get where I want to be, I'll go around. I'm not trying to be anywhere near, because
Jesus.
you don't know who you're dealing with. It's just like, okay, I tell you what, there was an episode of Blackish one time, and it was a little white girl that was lost in the elevator.
Oh yeah.
And my man closed the door and kept
Closed the door, kept moving, and
That's
I would
right.
have done the same thing.
Exactly.
Nope.
There's
Nope.
no way in the world. I would rather somebody be mad at me because this little white girl ended up getting snatched up because I didn't take action, rather than we saw you talking to that little girl, now she's missing. Okay, it's time for you to go to jail. No, I'm not doing it. Not ever. White women are dangerous, sir. Just saying.
I mean, there are no lies in what you're saying, but it's just hilarious because you're saying.
I
saying it.
understand it. I agree. See, I was replaying it in my head. So yeah, that's pretty funny. But I'm
because
just saying,
because if I say it, it sounds like I'm
sound racist. It does.
yeah, I'm just being racist. But
I don't think I would ever say
but
that.
But
I
y'all
can
two
say it
talking?
because I'm married to a white woman, and she was like, I was like, look now, and she was like,
said
facts,
white women are
facts,
dangerous.
facts, because she understands that white women can weaponize
Oh my God.
better than any woman can. Now, again, don't get me wrong. I talk to no woman while I'm out. No woman. However, white women, like y'all taught me on the show, there are levels to this. They can weaponize things that I didn't even know it could be weaponized. So it's like, if I see a white woman struggling, she's gonna stay struggling. Because number one, we're supposed to be equal to start with.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
those
God.
Black Morticia Adams, those Koreans should know.
That joke will never.
Never
It
die.
will never die,
Never
not
die.
ever. But I'm saying, man, I just don't talk to women in the stores like that. Especially like grocery stores, where that's kind of one of the places where you pick up women to start with. Nah.
You do?
Oh, absolutely. Grocery store,
Ah,
absolutely. But what I'm saying, like I said, man, it's just like, I don't make eye contact. The only time I'll speak to a woman if she's got a badge that says her name and she works
I mean,
there.
at least
and
if you
I
gotta go
need her help
past
for
white,
something.
if you gotta go past white, do you say excuse me?
If
Or
it's
you just-
if it's really way out of my way, I'll say excuse me. But it's uncomfortable, man. It's uncomfortable, especially with like. I think I get more on edge when it's a white woman that's my age or older. So yeah, I'm not trying to do all that.
You sound like the dude on that movie, The Secret Society of Magical Negroes.
Oh,
Is
have
it
you
good?
seen
I
that?
need to watch that. Is
I haven't
it
seen
good?
that.
Look, man, am I gonna say it's a good movie? I mean, it's not great, but look,
Okay.
It's funny.
there's a lot of shit in there that I thought was just fucking hilarious. Like, there's just some things about him, just like, yo, there's just no getting around it. That's funny, and it's funny because it's true.
Well, that makes it good. I gotta watch it because it's on my list to watch.
When he was standing in front of a poster with sharks, and he was like, he asked the guy, "What's the most dangerous animal in the world?" And he looked back and he said, "I guess it's sharks." Since you guys, he's like, "No, it's white people, especially when they're scared. Scared white people.
Facts.
Most dangerous animal in the world."
Facts. Look at what's going on in our country right now. Facts. I'm just
Ah,
saying. So Lauren out here letting y'all know she's not like the rest of those milk of magnesia bottles. Yes, she is, because there are things, and don't get me wrong, there was a learning curve that she didn't know she had to make until Donald Trump was elected. And then I was telling her, I was like, you see that? Yeah, I see that now. You see that? Yeah, I see that now. Where before it wasn't necessarily like that. Now it's like, and then she got all these like swirly grandkids. Oh no, she is on high alert, baby. She is on high alert because she knows that her grandkids are gonna be, well, not her one grandkid, because I promise you that little girl can pass anyway. But her grandson, oh, he light skinned for real. He gonna have issues. He gonna have issues, man. And I'm saying, and she's well aware of these things. So yeah, anytime I say it, she's like, facts. I don't talk to women, man. I don't talk to women. The only one I'm talking to outside of our home is her, or someone that can help me understand why y'all move to watermelons. Because I'm trying to look at, or why y'all move to snacks. Because I gotta have some snacks.
Yeah, Walmart's just moving shit around now.
Yeah, man, I gotta be honest, AG. You're a professional because like I just say random shit when I'm out in public, and I gotta get better about like just making random casual jokes out loud and stuff. I haven't got to the point where I just don't talk to people because I'm just such a like random speaker that I do have to censor myself sometimes. Ruben, you've been out with me before, and sometimes I just randomly say shit. Like
I'm the same way.
Can see that. I can see you doing that. But what I'm telling you is my fear would be you don't know who you're talking to. Not ever. So again, and it's my fear is not your fear, obviously. But like I said, man, it's like between women thinking I'm trying to pick them up. Because see, I'm older, so I'm a creeper already. Before I say anything, I'm a creeper. So it's just like between women thinking I'm trying to pick them up.
Who the hell are you talking to?
Dude, it's like you don't man, women think all kinds of things about men.
Yeah.
For no reason.
He ain't wrong. Like you can say something and really not mean it to sound like a creeper vibe, but like if people choose to hear things the way they want to hear it.
There it is.
Is and if they've already boxed you as possible creeper, they're looking for any statement that they can make
then
to
why
put
you
you in
talking
that
to
category.
me? Like, bitch,
It doesn't
And
matter.
they ain't got to be talking to you. They can just hear you talking. And they're
Exactly.
looking for a reason to box you into that category that they've kind of already put you in.
What did I just tell you about your question? I am subject to everyone else's narrative. So I'm not in these streets talking, man. You know what I say to people? It's like do you have Apple Pay? Or, my wife is looking for something, can you help me find it? Or
bro, that wife word is
that don't do nothing.
No, it ain't that it don't do nothing, man. I have found myself like abusing that word in the conversation. Because and here's why. Because just like I said, like if sometimes if you're just really being friendly or you really just have to engage in a conversation with somebody to ask them something, like I got to make sure that this person doesn't perceive me as somebody that's just aggressively trying to pick them up. So if I say my wife a couple times in conversation, maybe it makes me appear a little less threatening.
Yeah, that's the goal. Because like somebody will ask me, like if I go get Lauren like a coffee or something, she's like, "What's the order? What's the name of the order?" I'll say her name. Ain't nobody up but me. I'll say her name. So you already know. Ring. I got the little plastic ring on. Everything, man. Look, whatever is a like woman repellent, that's what I'm trying to do.
So ring ain't a woman repellent though.
So Ruben, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. So I was in a grocery store, and I don't know how long ago, it was a couple weeks ago, but there was something in the grocery store. I don't even remember what the item was. I'm looking at it, and the lady grabbed it. And it was something that I kind of wanted to try, but I didn't really know. So I was just like, have you had that before? And she was like, oh, yeah, I get them all the time. And defense mechanism just went in. I was like, yeah, because my wife wanted to try those, but I just didn't know. It was completely fucking unwarranted.
Yes, it was warranted, sir.
But exactly, it was completely unwarranted, but completely necessary.
There you go.
Because I needed her to know that this wasn't some whack ass attempt to start a conversation with her.
That part, sir. Repellent. I mean, I haven't gotten to the point where I'll say Lauren is somewhere where she's not. Like, if I'm trying to really ward off evil and say she's in the grocery store when she's not there.
said ward off evil.
What it is, man. Hey, Nikki D 424. All you need to know is Rosewood and Emmett Till. No lies detected.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I mean, enough people have said to make it debatable whether he said something to that woman that day. But the bottom line is, if he says nothing, we don't know who Emmett Till is. Probably. Just saying. I will leave a little white girl in the elevator lost. She gonna be crying.
Oh my God.
Well, Black Morticia, the only thing you might have right is the dark skin part. The dark skin part might be the only part that she did go tell her friends about.
Baby, I need to be careful with that wife word dropping.
And he's not wrong.
Coming after you.
He's not wrong.
No, he's absolutely not wrong. But once again, I stated my reasoning for doing it, and it's a defense mechanism that sometimes I don't even know I'm doing.
Because you can't go out in certain places. It's almost better for you to not have a ring on than to have a ring on. Because
well, summertime, I can't help it. I got the farmer's tan on it. It doesn't matter.
No, I mean, but I'm saying if you're going to places like
I don't tan like that.
This motherfucker.
You know what?
I mean, I'm looking up like, do I have a little tan there? It's a little bit.
It's a little bit there, man.
Shut up. But nah. Just hey. All I'm saying is, I'm not saying you gotta talk to everybody in the damn supermarket, but like,
no one.
I'm saying, men at least have a nonverbal thing going on. I wish women liked each other enough to have something similar.
Once again, I really want any woman could please give me this. Like, I really want to know what the woman equivalent is to. I see young blood. There's got to be one.
There's nothing.
Ruben,
they don't like each other enough for that.
Ruben, you don't have enough expertise in this matter to tell
Black
me.
Morticia Adams says they called them unbuttered biscuits or unseasoned chicken.
Wow.
AKA, they don't have nothing.
Ruben, that's not what she was making reference to. But Ruben, what I'm saying is you don't have enough experience in being a woman to be able to tell me that there's no equivalent to I see young blood. There's got to be one.
But we got at least two women on who's watching this.
Because
they ain't saying nothing.
Like I said, because as a guy, I know if some old dude walks by and says, I see young blood, he approves of whatever he sees.
Yes.
He is silently giving me my props. He's basically saying, keep doing your thing, young man. I see you.
Wait a minute. I don't know. I think we might be missing something. What happens when two women look at each other? Nothing. And they're like, girl.
Nah, they don't.
That like approval of some sort?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. No, Ruben. I think they do. But the thing is, I think girl can have so many different meanings.
Well,
they only need it by they know it by tone, and we don't understand the tone. We don't know.
That's not true. We do understand the tone. It's just like when, if we talking, and we trying to keep our stuff like encrypted, and we be like, nigga.
You know what? Thank you, Nikki, for giving me one. I like
your fit is the equivalent. I see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you for giving me one. I knew there had to be one out there. But
how often does that get used?
I mean,
it
actually, you know what?
A lot though. It does get used a lot.
Because
friend, your girl Amanda Steels. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Moby.
My friend Janelle has done that before. We've been out, and she'll walk up to a girl. I love your fit, or I love your outfit. Like, you're right. That does happen. It does happen. I'm thank you because I needed an example in my life because I just want women to be able to feel that level of appreciation because as a guy, we strive for it.
Because I thought about you, Ruben, one day, maybe like 2 months ago, I was watching some reels and your girl Amanda Seals. I know you think she's really pretty and she's really funny. And she was talking about this very that's what you told me. But anyway, she was talking about this very thing. And how women will do it. Like what she was saying was, yeah, if we digging on a woman like that, let's just say a woman came in with a polka dotted dress and we really liked it. Black woman will be like this. I see you polka dots. And I was like, exactly.
So
exactly. I understand.
Thank you. I mean, you're right. Thank you for. Like I said, I just wanted to know that they had one like that.
They do. They have plenty.
I just wanted to know because, like I said, as a
see
guy,
Youngblood.
look, man, as a guy, that was
That's the
powerful
Youngblood.
when you. It's and I'm gonna tell you the first time that I really heard it in a way that made me feel great about who I was as a human being. Now it sounds funny, but I remember the first time I took one of my ex-girlfriends around the family, and my Uncle Junior looked at me and said, "I see you," and I was just like, "Oh man."
That means she's fine enough to be around here.
Approval. Absolutely approval.
Hey man, look.
Now he might not thrown the young blood in there, but in my head I still heard it.
But
I knew it was there.
The
I
young
knew
blood
it was
in
there.
though.
Yes, I knew it was there.
Yeah.
Right? Because he said, "I see you." There it is.
Yeah.
You don't need to say
Like-
young blood all the time.
I mean, he was basically saying, "Yeah, she fine, good job."
And maybe
Okay.
young blood is reserved for someone you don't know.
And here's the thing: I did the same thing to my nephew in North Carolina. His little 12-year-old ass was hollering at 15 and 16-year-olds, getting phone numbers, asking girls to wait for him, and they were giving him phone numbers. And all I walked by, I see you, RJ. And I'm thinking, damn, I just young blooded him. I
You just
just
changed his
young
life,
blooded
man.
my nephew.
You
Yeah, but
changed
he
his
did
life.
he-
And
but
it's his birthday
did he
today. Happy
know?
birthday, RJ. I know your little ass shouldn't be listening to this. Happy
But
birthday.
did he know what you meant?
He knew.
He knows. He knew. He
He's
knew.
12. He's 12 talking
He
to
knew.
15-year-olds.
Yeah, he knew.
When I was 12, I was still scared to talk to 12-year-olds. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, matter of fact, before we get off, happy birthday to my nephew RJ and happy birthday to my niece Michaela. Both of their birthdays today. So
Cool.
They
And was
twins?
that big?
no,
Okay.
I mean both different. Like shit, Michaela just graduated from high school too. So
Okay.
shout out to her. And RJ just became a teenager today. So
Sweet.
Woo.
Remember
Life
that.
is forever changed.
yeah, I see young blood. I see young blood out there. See,
With
I
that being
see you out there spitting that game.
Oh,
Unlike
Jesus
your
Christ.
older brother, unlike your brother, your daddy had no game. He was just a tall nigga that played basketball.
Stop.
Wow.
Hey, but look, man, look, if you got the tools, you don't need the game. So whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever works, you know what I'm saying? Like
Wow. Wow.
And on that note, thank you for listening to a new episode of 5 Minute Warning. We are here every Sunday, Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. until wherever we feel like getting the hell off. The podcast usually drops on the weekend afterwards. Yeah, tell a friend, tell an enemy, just tell somebody about us. You know we at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays because nobody else really has a podcast during this time. So you should be listening to us. And of course, www.5minutewarning.com. Like and subscribe so when we drop the podcast, especially when AG throws some little special stuff in it, you know that it's dropped. Hey, yeah, Black Morticia Adams.
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying, Black Morticia Adams.
When we get
Damn,
in,
2 hours.
when we
Extended
Father's
Father's
Day.
Day edition.
for the only father here. We did it for his ass. Yo, with that being said, once again, thank all of y'all for continuing to support and continue to listen to our crazy asses every Sunday or whenever you get a chance to listen to us. So, with that being said, you know how we do. Peace, love, hair grease, soul, and deuces.
Email us at 5minutewarning19@gmail.com. And also leave comments on Facebook and Twitch. Search 5 Minute Warning. Contact us on Twitter at AG_FMW podcast, at Newsman25, at FMW 2019. Contact us on Instagram, Moby 5 Minute Warning, AG_5 Minute Warning, Newsman25. You can listen to the podcast at Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. Thank you for listening. This has been another episode of